Well, it's a pleasure to see you, to meet you. I'm surrounded by cameras right now because we do it for the internet as well on Radio SRW. We are the biggest player here in the east part of Germany. I'm one of the hosts, and we are looking forward to the new album.
Thank you very much, Ted. Thanks for being here.
We met before on several gigs and concerts. You did Leipzig, you did Dresden, you did a private concert for our listeners in Cologne. It was in 2012, I guess, or 2011. It was a very nice surprise. And now it's a surprise again to have the new sound. And to be honest, it's a very serious theme, a serious topic. But when I listened to Do What You Can First, it made me happy. Can you give me a survey on the development of the song?
Then amen to that. Thank you for that, Ted. Well, you know, out of these crazy times came a lot of opportunities to write songs. That one came to me while I was at one of our JBJ Soul Kitchens, and the basis of our restaurant there is that there's an in-need population and a population that can afford to pay. But the basis of it is volunteerism. And in the COVID crisis, no volunteers could come to do things like wash the dishes. So I was behind the sink. And my wife, Dorothea, snapped that photograph to put on social media. So especially our in-need population would know that we'd be there to feed them. I think the caption she was looking for was the time of the day and the day of the week that we'd be open. But I said, if you can't do what you do what you can. The next morning when I woke up, I went, hey, that's a big old Bon Jovi song title. So I went and I wrote the song. And it's factual. You know, there's no hyperbole, no exaggeration whatsoever in that song. I didn't even go crazy with poetic license. It's just the border closed, last paychecks, the hospital in Central Park. But what has to come out of all of these trying times? People come together and they face adversity and they have to survive, right? So we have to do, in the coming together, find optimism. If you can't do what you do, at least do what you can. And that's what came of it.
That's cool. That's very cool. As far as I know, you did an intermingling with the fans. The fans were involved into the song. Can you explain it once again to our listeners?
Yeah. So as I had written the song, I was also very aware that unlike any other time in our world history, well, in the last 100+ years of our world history, had we lived something as specific that anywhere everyone was experiencing, which was this COVID crisis. And so I knew that I was writing a universal song, and I took the first verse and the chorus so that folks would have the idea of what the song was. And I said, write me a verse. And if I like it enough, I'll sing it back to you on the internet. And so I had, had the song written and put away and ready to record, but I gotten verses from people around the world. And before you knew it, I was doing Zooms with kindergarten classes in Florida or fans in Asia and Europe and even Japan. So, I was going around the globe just having this interaction. And I knew I had that kind of a song, so I just needed the opportunity to record it. And in June, me and the guys got together in Los Angeles for 2 days and in a private studio and knocked that and American Reckoning out and included them both on the record.
There have been listeners of our radio station too to be involved in this song, and they were such full of passion and full of good vibes. Very cool thing.
Hey, fantastic. That's great.
Jon, what was it like to write songs in such a spooky time?
It was interesting. Very interesting in that I can't tell you in a million years I've ever used the word vaccination in a song before, or social distancing. I never even heard the word before this COVID crisis. But when these times happen, and if you're receptive, as a songwriter, we get to bear witness to history. And so who knew if the song was going to turn out well enough for me to want to share with your listeners, but I had to sit down and try to write it. And then I did. again, while I was so taken by the news and the COVID crisis had us all on lockdown and everybody was home, maybe it's because the world slowed down, but I paid very close attention to what was happening with the Black Lives Matter movement and the death of George Floyd. So once again, I grabbed the guitar and started to write. Again, I wasn't sure, confident that I was necessarily going to be able to share it, but once I did write it, I needed to record it. Once I recorded it, I was really anxious to share it. So the opportunities were there, and they're there every day. It's just a matter of how receptive we are to being open to writing songs.
So what we are looking forward to, of course, is to have Bon Jovi live again sometime. I guess we will beat the COVID crisis. Of course,
Yes.
everybody's looking forward to do it. Are there plans for the future playing live on stage?
Not now, to be honest, Ted. I think that the truth is that myself, like anyone else, will need to the comfort of knowing that social distancing or a vaccination, I worry more for the audience than I do for me, but I'm sad when I watch a sporting event today and there's no crowd in the stands. We love that sense of community and that tribalism of coming together with your favorite team or your favorite band and rooting for them and being a part of that. And that's the big gaping hole that we're having to deal with at this time.
So let's hope for the future. What's interesting to us here in Germany is the president's election, of course. Would you play your songs on a part of anybody of them?
I'm sorry, because someone tried to call in from another interview.
Oh, great. We are looking, we are very much interested in the president's election in America, of course, yes. Did you already vote? And would you play your songs being with one of them, Biden or Trump?
I understand. I have done a fundraiser for Joe Biden already in this cycle. And throughout the course of much of my adult life, I had supported a number of candidates along the way. So somebody's trying to call it, shouldn't have that number.
Maybe it's your wife, huh? No.
Oh, well, then I'm definitely hiding. But it's a crazy time right here in the States, and there is an election that's forthcoming. And yes, I have done some fundraising for Joe, and will intend to, if asked, to do more.
All right. So we in Germany have a special day on Saturday. It's the day of 30 years getting together, the East part and the West part. It's similar to your Independence Day, maybe the 4th of July or so. Do you have anything in mind when you look back to this history?
Oh, sure. I mean, I remember taking a hammer to the wall, and I have a huge piece of it that I knocked out myself, and there's film footage of us doing it. But I also remember going back to the East when it was still East Germany, and going across Checkpoint Charlie, and all of that experience, and our records not being released there at the time, and so I have a lot of memories of it. And then the wall coming down, and the coming together of the country as one, and how well that's ultimately gone. And for me, to be able to play for all those people some 30 plus years later now is fantastic.
Cool. So you are that familiar with Germany, German fans. Do you know any German songs and German bands as well?
I've come across a couple of them over the years, but it's a little difficult. My favorite German band is the Scorpions, who taught me how to play an arena in the first place. The greatest German rock band to conquer the globe and kick somebody's butt in. They are the greatest.
Cool. It was our morning host who told me I ask you one question. You are married since '89. What is the secret of a marriage? He wants to know.
Well, honestly, without being you know, comic about it. It's a great partnership, and it's a mutual admiration society. And, you know, we are willing to listen and to learn from each other. And for me, it's also, you know, I love being around her. You know, it's just the first person I want to see every day.
That's love. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So I turn around because we take some pictures with me and you here on the screen.
Ah.
Where's the camera right now here? So, come on. So let's wave a hand here. Ah, cool, 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 cool. Yeah, we do it. Thank you very much, Jon. It was a pleasure to me, and we are looking forward to the album and we play the single through all the days, every day, every now and again, of course, because it really makes us happy.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it, Ted. All the best, bud.
All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.